Welcome to Pesto Comics Audio Edition for May 15th, 2024. Get yourself a Crazy Latte. Crazy Latte Thing Called Love launches today. Plus, 2 cons in 2 weeks? Before we start, what's been up lately? Big Smoke Pulp. Call for entries still open. We're looking for your stories. Find out more about our new project coming this fall, Big Smoke Pulp. If you have something I should read, be sure to send it. It'll cost you nothing but your time. And you could get paid. I've accepted enough to make up 30% of the book so far, so there's still time to get in. A fun couple of weekends. TIAC, the Toronto Indie Authors Conference. I started the month at the Toronto Indie Authors Conference, and I got to meet a whole bunch of really cool indie authors, a few of which I've listed in the Substack. I'm not going to threaten to pronounce all their names wrong. If you're an author or even an indie comics writer, I highly recommend checking this conference out next year. Or one like it if you're not from Toronto. There was a lot to learn, and everyone there was some of the most supportive people around. You really get the sense that everyone is in it together. I came back energized with some big game plans for the coming months. Keep an eye on the progress calendar in the Substack, as I'll be keeping it updated with all the things that are coming up. TCAF Word Balloon Academy. I presented at this year's TCAF Word Balloon Academy on Friday, and it couldn't have gone better. There was a decent crowd to hear me talk about all things comics and Kickstarter, and I even got to meet a cool few people after the presentation. Plus, the entire day was very informative. TCAF really tends to lean on the more artistic side of comics, so I felt like I was a good counterpoint on how to make more commercially minded comics. If you missed it, don't worry. I recorded it, and I'll be sharing it with all subscribers soon. TCAF, the Toronto Comics Art Festival. The next day, the main event was underway. It was the busiest I've seen it since 2020, though not still at the pre-pandemic levels quite yet. Not entirely a bad thing, as you're actually able to walk across the floor without being crushed. I got to talk to a bunch of comics friends, like Philip and Roberto and Jen Woodall and more. Plus, I got to meet the editorial team for the Teal Comics City We Chose, Stephen Andrews and Emily Stewart. Better yet, they were able to show me proofs of the upcoming book. They look amazing. Marzia's art really is something else. You don't want to miss out on this anthology, so please be sure to back it on Kickstarter. It's called The City We Chose. You got just 2 days to get your copy. And now, let's talk about the latest project launching today. We're live. We went live on Kickstarter at 8 a.m. Eastern. This project has been a long time coming. I'd written it late last year, but let me tell you, good things come to those who wait. Mattia has some unreal work for this comic, and I can't wait for everyone to see it firsthand. I've used the time to collaborate with more artists for some really cool variant covers. This includes Roberto Villacava with his Frankly My Dear Gone with the Wind variant, and Will Robson with his groovy Army of Darkness variant. Homage variants aside, we've got 2 excellent covers by Mattia Monaco to add to the bunch. Shipping has always been a real pain when it comes to getting comics in your hand. However, I've been working with Stallion Express since last campaign, and with that in mind, I was able to do something different this time around to soften the blow. Shipping is included on all orders, worldwide. But there's more. An early tip for you newsletter subscribers. We're experimenting with pocket rewards this time out. For those that aren't familiar, these are rewards that are introduced mid-campaign to give the whole campaign a boost. However, if you get the bundles from all the Crazy Latte covers and up, you get the pocket reward thrown in at no extra cost. It'll be another excellent homage variant about a certain city of stars. If you're new to Pesto Comics, campaign season is the best time to catch up. There are a ton of bundles and add-ons available that let you save money while reading everything we have on offer. And if you haven't picked up your copies yet, make sure you do so before May 17th at midnight to get in on early backer bonuses. This includes some great digital comics from other indie creators that I'm a big fan of, including Deadskins Part 1, Wishful Thinking number 1, and Beowulf number 1. And for physical backers who submit their order before May 17th, they'll receive a bookmark and a sticker from previous campaigns, along with all those digital comics. I want to get this comic in the hands of as many people as possible. This campaign is a huge step towards that. Funding is just one part of it, but truthfully, that doesn't cover the cost of production or fulfillment entirely. That's why we have a whole bunch of stretch goals to hit throughout the campaign. So many that I may come to regret including shipping. And I want you to make me regret it. Let's make Crazy Latte Thing Called Love a record-setting campaign for Pesto Comics together. And to help make that happen, listen to me on your favorite podcasts. Along with pushing advertising as far as my budget can muster, I'll be pushing the campaign on a number of podcasts every few days. And we start tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern with Conrad on Wednesday Night Reviews. I met Conrad at a panel at Fan Expo last year, and this will be my second time on his show. He's a great host and really comes up with some tough questions throughout the conversation, leading to some really deep insights. I highly recommend checking this one out. Then, True North Country Comics should be coming out sometime after May 16th when I'll be recording it with John Swinimer. John is a tried and true formula for his podcast while still digging into what makes indie creators tick. It's likely the shortest of all the podcasts I'll be on, so if you're too tired of hearing me talk, this might be a good one to get the rundown without having to invest too much time. Right Now with Frank Martin. That's next Wednesday, May 22nd at 8:30. Frank is doing something really different with Right Now. We'll be writing a short story together live, trading a sentence at a time until we have something fun to share. Join us if you're curious how quickly things can go off the rails. Artist Roberto Villacava informed me that this writing style, translated from Spanish, is called the Exquisite Corpse. I feel like it's a fitting name for what may be the result of this. Freshly Pressed. That comes on Thursday, May 30th at 8:30. And that's our last podcast that we have scheduled right now. It's promoting a new digital indie comics website called Comics One. I've already made some sales on this platform, actually, and I do love how it's so indie focused. It allows Pesto Comics work to be available to even broader audiences. Join us as we talk all things comics live. There's more in the works podcasting wise. That information will come out down the road, but likely post-campaign. So, one more time for good measure. If this all hasn't convinced you to check out the campaign yet, I'll do my best to find another way to twist your arm. But I highly appreciate anyone who takes the time to share the campaign. Tweet it, Instagram it, do whatever you do on TikTok. Just get the word out. And if you haven't backed yet, you really don't want to miss out. What's next? June 1st. How lucky am I? Highlighting the amazing artists I've worked with so far. Plus, a Crazy Latte mid-campaign update. And June 15th. A home away from home. The weekend at Niagara Falls Comic-Con. Plus, announcing the next project by Pesto Comics. And that's it for this week. Thank you so much for listening. I always appreciate it. If you haven't checked out the campaign, I implore you to do it. It's really important that these campaigns go well in the first 48 hours, so your help is greatly, greatly appreciated. So please check it out. Give it your support, share it with your friends. Let's make this thing really work and get out to people so we can make even more for you. So thanks again. I'll let you go. Until next time, talk to you on June 1st. Have a good one.